Sure. So my name is Kathryn Cook, and I just wanted to speak a little bit about my experience with shadow work and Adrienne Thomas. I've done energy work before, and I've also done therapy, and I've done yoga, and I've been out there. But I have to say that the experience I had, which only took a few hours really, of really going backwards in my life and pinpointing, and it was really not that difficult, but it was very profound, pinpointing, identifying myself at times in my life where I was repeating a pattern, a theme, if you will, and coming out of it, you know, opening up, going into sort of the dark areas of my life, which we all have, like hitting different pain points, and there really aren't that many, and they kind of repeat themselves, was really revealing for me. So my overall experience surprised me, actually, because I didn't really think that it would have a major impact. You know, I've done a lot of different things, but really going into the process, which was very powerful, was not only revealing, but freeing. I felt, wow, I didn't realize that was in my subconscious, and that's what that was. And Adrienne lets you go through it yourself, but there's guidance. But so I would say that for me, I walked away feeling, from like the process itself and the realizations I came to, feeling like I could truly make changes in my life and approach situations in a different way. And I've been able to remind myself daily of that experience that I had. So that was my overall thing, was more profound than I ever could have thought. So the initial process, to be honest, I had done some work with Adrienne prior to this, so I knew her, trusted her. I knew that what she was creating was going to have an impact on many people. Was I skeptical about the process? Yeah, that's just my nature a little bit. But when I embarked on it, if you will, I immediately felt at ease and comfortable and in a spiritual frame of mind with an openness. The skepticism went away very quickly, and I was open to see, I was open for the journey, actually. So yeah, it was pretty cool, and she's great, and I would embark on that with full trust. And it's one of the reasons that I decided to join this team, actually. So there you have it. Between the first and second session, so the way it worked with Adrienne, because I knew her from before, we did it in one session with a bit of a pause in the middle to regroup. And so how I felt in that pause was anticipation for coming out of where I was, and that was very exciting. A little bit nerve-wracking, but exciting more. And I ended up, after I got through the whole thing, feeling very joyful, actually. Well, the funny thing for me was that it really actually is a tool that you can repeat and remind yourself. But what really struck me, and it was actually about clarity was, really? Like, I didn't guess this before? Because it's really not that complicated. You know, we repeat things in our lives, and they are the same thing. And so then it's like, well, I have control over this if I remind myself. So there was a lot of joy in that, actually, and freedom. Well, it's sort of funny because I had you know how doubt can creep in, and so the next day or the few days following, I was looking at the mirror. What are the words? I had my affirmations, if you will, and I was looking at them, and I had discomfort in a way, but at the same time I knew it was real, and that knowledge was incredible, actually. And I vowed to take that forward in my life. That's how I felt the next day. So how it's affected my daily life specifically is, you have no excuses. You know, not what you should be doing, but you know that you can do. You're of value. And this is the time. You know, I'm not 25. And so I'm like, yeah, you know, like maybe time is of the essence a little bit. And let's not fuck around anymore. And that's pretty much it. So on a daily basis, I remind myself of that. I think it's a combination of things in terms of where it impacted me the most. I've been wanting to write my entire life, and I'm the writer that doesn't write. And I started taking the writing course, and I've been doing the work. Okay, not every day, you're supposed to, but better, much better. Let's call it every other day. And but also the relationship with my children. I was a single parent for a long time, and they love me to death. And they always say, you know, you can do anything. But it's like letting go. They're older now, okay, so it's a bit ridiculous what I'm saying. But the freedom to let go of their lives has really been interesting for me as a person. And it's an ongoing process. So I would have to say the relationship with my kids, the boundaries I've put around myself, and then making the time for the things that I really want to do. I've noticed a big difference that way. So will it have a lasting impact on my life? I would say definitely. I also realize, you know, I have to overcome my own avoidance at times, and remember that the tool is there, and remember that it's simple, that my life theme, or the repetitive theme, does not define me. It does not define me. And because I know this so much, I really want to share it with others, because there's a freedom that comes with knowing. You know, it's always difficult to explain to people a spiritual journey. If someone has never done anything, like I remember this, I'll just say this quickly. I went out with this guy. He was a hockey player, and I was into yoga, and I said to him, look, you are not a depressed person. You don't need to go on medication. Like, you don't. Come to yoga. Just go to yoga. Just do it. Just go and hang on for dear life, and you will get better. I swear to God, you go to yoga 5 times a week, you will get better. He said to me 2 years later, thank you for that. He said, it saved me. So it's that kind of thing. Now, I find it easy to talk passionately about that practice because I've done it and I know what it can do. But this is no different. It's just, if someone is not versed, it's difficult to explain. When I said to him, go and hold on for dear life, he was ready to not go down. I think this is the same thing in the sense that you can't really explain to someone what's really going to happen, but you're giving them some pointers. I've done a lot of yoga, I've done a lot of meditation, and even that is hard to explain. We call it, shadow work, but it's really allowing yourself to travel internally and really look at what formed you. And a lot of that's in the subconscious. And wouldn't you want to be free of that? Wouldn't you want to know? Because it's tricky. Like, it's a tricky process. And you have to have the courage. It's kind of like if you want to go to Europe and you've never gone to Europe, you have to have a little courage. So this is a journey from within. And I have to say, in this particular time with this world pandemic, there's no better time than to travel within, because there's nowhere else to go. And in that, you will find truth about yourself that will transform you and help you be that person that you really want to be. And see clearly. That's all I can say. It's an opportunity. I think really for me it stems from love. And what I realized is that this was a tool that a process that I could help people see that their true worth. And when you see your true worth and you value yourself, you get the courage to step out. And I want to help people step out. It's people need you. And there's a way to do it. That isn't really that difficult. Just takes that oomph, Well, it's one of those funny things because you can't really decide who's ready and who is not. But if anybody asks certain questions, I would highly recommend it. But it's, if you're seeking any truth, and you don't know where to go find some answers, it usually starts with yourself. So this will help you get there for sure, sure. Perhaps understanding the process ahead of time, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm right on that, because I think it was pretty perfect as it was. The follow-up is important, I think. And so in terms of really solidifying it in the person that you're coaching. And as a coach myself, I think that there's a responsibility to follow up. And Adrienne's done a really good job of that with me. So I decided to become involved because I've been on this journey through yoga and meditation for a long time, like 15 years. And I've always been struck by the simplicity of actually showing up. And it was a big yoga thing. All you have to do is show up on your mat. That's all you have to do. You can lie there if you want. But in the process of taking action, it's simple, and the impact it can have on your life. And the reason I became involved is because this is also very concrete. And I've said it many times about the internal journey, but it really is an internal journey, but it's not difficult. It's showing up for yourself. And I want to help people realize that they can be whatever they want to be. So it's funny because I always didn't want my aha moment to come on my deathbed. So for me, seeing it right now, right here, helping others okay, like this is what it is, and it's not such a big deal, and it can be not necessarily, well, it can be fixed, but more than that, it can be life-altering. Life-altering. You know, the thing you always wanted to do and you never had the courage to do it, or you held yourself back. There's a reason you held yourself back. That doesn't need to be your truth. Your truth can be completely different. And you're still the great person you are. The fact that it's in its simplicity, it brings you to understanding of yourself quickly so that you can then turn that around. And that's where the power is. That is where the power is. You know, if you want to create change in your life, this is a great way to go about it, because it is a leap of faith. And it's a, 4-hour commitment that could bring results that could take years to find. So there's always a leap of faith in everything that we do. And I would say this is priceless. Actually, what you will gain is priceless. And the process of coming back out of that and seeing how really our lives, it's sort of funny, you know, it is at the end of the day sort of funny how we keep doing the same thing, keep picking the same guys, keep whatever it is, having the same financial difficulties. It goes down into something very deep in ourselves. And when we realize that, which it was through Adrienne's process actually, it lightened it up, got to the point, and then there were revelations. And I came out feeling more powerful. I really came out feeling more powerful. And I wrote those words on my mirror and have allowed every single person that has come through my house to see them. So I can only recommend that you should give it a shot, because you will have revelations of yourself that will be life-lasting.